Hey everyone, so in step 7, you are creating 2-point perspective boxes now. So this is what your notes are going to look like, and on your final, you're pretty much going to do the same thing, where you're going to have 2 boxes above, 2 on, and 2 below. So 2-point perspective looks a little bit different because you are using 2 vanishing points. It also gives you a corner view of a box versus just a kind of frontal view. So let's go ahead and begin. You are going to need a sheet of paper, some kind of pencil, and a triangle. So let's go ahead and start writing out our notes and getting those ready. So you're going to write your first name, your last name, whatever your period number is, and this will be notes number 7. So notes number 7. We're going to start off by creating a horizontal line going through the middle of your paper. So horizontal line, make sure you line up your triangle with the edge of your paper. Here's your horizontal line. And for your vanishing points, instead of putting them in the middle, we're going to put them on the very edge. So one's going to go on this side, and one is going to go on this side. And I purposely put them toward the edges of my paper because it's going to make your life much easier when you start to draw these out. So we're going to start off by drawing a box above the horizon. So to do that, you are going to have to make sure you remember that your vertical lines are going to need to line up with the edge of your paper. So like your triangle needs to line up with the edge of your paper. And you're just going to draw me a vertical line just like that. Okay. Now these endpoints we're going to take to each of those vanishing points. So I'm going to start off by taking this endpoint to this vanishing point and then the top one. So we're going to take that top part of the line and take that all the way to the vanishing point. Now we're going to take it to the other vanishing point. So we're going to take this end point all the way to the vanishing point, and we're going to take this top one all the way to the vanishing point, just like that. Now it's really important that your verticals are vertical and they're not crooked. So again, we're going to line up our triangle with the edge of our paper. It doesn't matter where you put your verticals. Some might have longer boxes and some might have shorter boxes. But if you really struggle with perspective, just kind of follow me. Again, my triangle is lined up with the edge of my paper. I'm going to draw a vertical line here. And then I'm going to go over to this side, line up my triangle with the edge of my paper, and draw a vertical here. All right, so I established the ends of my boxes, how deep they go. Now here's the part where some people find tricky. We're going to crisscross our lines. So this point here is going to go all the way over here. This point here is going to go all the way over here. So if you're doing them and they look weird, it's because you are doing it incorrectly. So I'm going to take this point all the way to the vanishing point, and I'm going to take this point all the way to the vanishing point. But I'm just going to stop right here because I know where the end of my box is. And as we get better at this, you don't have to draw your lines all the way to the vanishing point. So I'm just going to erase those. And again, the more you practice, the better you are going to get at perspective. This doesn't usually happen overnight. It takes a little bit of practice. And 2 points just a little bit different. So I'm erasing all my excess lines. So let's try another one above the horizon again, because it's the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with a vertical line. Again, make sure your triangle lines up with the edge of your paper. And I'm going to take each of those endpoints of that line to the vanishing point. So I'm going to go all the way to the vanishing point. Just like that. And then on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take it all the way to the vanishing point. Now, if you know where your box is cut off, you don't have to draw all the way to the vanishing point. So for example, if I line this point up to the vanishing point, and I know I want my box to stop right about here, I can stop drawing, okay? But you still need to line it up with your vanishing point. Now I'm going to cut off my box here with a vertical. So make sure that your triangle lines up with the edge of your paper. Make your vertical cut. And then we're going to do that on this side too. Just like that. Okay. Now we're going to crisscross our points here. So this point is going to go the opposite. This point here is going to go over here. And with practice, you'll get better at it. If the bottom parts of your boxes look kind of weird, you probably did them wrong. So I lined that up with this vanishing point. I didn't draw all the way because I know where my box is going to end. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So lined it up with the vanishing point. Be very careful. Just like that. And then now I'm going to erase all of my excess lines. So you're probably getting the hang of this already. And you'll see me draw a little less towards the vanishing point as we go. So just erasing my excess lines. All right, make sure you draw light so that when you erase, it doesn't show up. I'm just drawing a little bit harder so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, so now we're gonna do ones below the horizon line. So we're gonna do the same exact way. So I'm gonna do a vertical line. Oop, looks like my vertical line didn't get drawn all the way. Let's try that again. Line up my triangle with the edge of my paper, draw my vertical line, and then take those to the vanishing point. So I'm taking each of those endpoints to the vanishing point. I kind of know how long I want my box to be, so I'm kind of stopping in this area here. And then I'm going to take this endpoint to the other vanishing point. And what's interesting about two-point perspective is that it offers a corner view. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this off. This time I think I'm going to make kind of a shallow cut here. So line up your triangle with the edge of your paper and draw your vertical line. If you mess up, like I drew kind of hard there, you can just erase it and redo it. Just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to cut it off over here. And I'm going to crisscross my line. So this point here is going to go to this vanishing point. And then this one here is going to go to the other vanishing point. And again, once you get the hang of this, you do not need to draw all the way to the vanishing point and erase your excess. Just like that. We're about halfway done with our notes. All right, so we're going to do another box below the horizon line. So we're going to start off with a vertical line. And then those endpoints of that vertical line go to the vanishing point. And then we're going to take it to the opposite vanishing point. And then I'm going to cut off my box using a vertical cut. So I'm lining up my triangle with the edge of my paper, and I'm going to do a vertical cut here, and then a vertical cut here. And then we're going to crisscross. So I'm going to take this point to this vanishing point, and then this point to the opposite vanishing point. And then erase your excess. Make sure you are drawing light, light, light. The last boxes we are going to make are going through the horizon. So I'm going to start off by making one right here. Save the easiest ones for last. So I'm just going to make a vertical line, and I'm going to take those lines to both vanishing points. So nothing has changed. It's the same exact steps over and over. And I know where I want my box to get cut off, so I'm not drawing all the way to the vanishing point anymore. I'm going to take this point to the vanishing point. If you mess up, like that one wasn't super accurate, I'm going to erase that and redo it. And this point to the vanishing point. Okay, and now I'm going to cut off my box using a vertical line. So make sure you line up your triangle with the edge of your paper. And go ahead and establish that vertical on this side too. Make sure your triangle is lined up with the edge of your paper, otherwise your boxes are going to look crooked. And then erase your excess. And then also erase the horizon line going through your shape. All right, we're gonna have one more box left. So for this one, I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna probably put it a little bit closer to this vanishing point here. So vertical line, and I'm going to take each of the endpoints and take them to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to do it to the opposite one. So I'm going to take these endpoints to the vanishing point. Just like that. Now I'm going to cut off my boxes. So I'm going to use a vertical line to cut this one off. Make sure your triangle is lined up with the bottom of your paper. Cut there. Do the same thing. Make sure your triangle is lined up with the edge of your paper, even if it's just a little bit. And make your vertical cut. Erase your excess. And then you might have noticed that you have that horizon line going through your shape. So go ahead and also erase that. So take a moment and erase your horizon line. Hopefully you drew nice and light, so it's easy to erase. All right, so these are your notes for step 7. On your notes, you drew 2 above, 2 on, and 2 below. On your final copy, you're gonna do the same exact number. So 2 above, 2 on, and 2 below. So when you turn your paper over, write your first name, your last name, whatever period you're in. This is notes number 7. And again, you are drawing in 2-point perspective, 2 above, 2 on and 2 below. So your final copy will look exactly like this. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to email me.